Good morning and welcome. My name is Dr. Kitiana Lowe, and I'm the Director of Programs and Events here at WBENC ORV. We are here for our Women of Color. Why should I get certified? So welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you who have joined us today. Let me start sharing my screen here. It's the wrong screen. Hold on one second. Oh, we got somebody in the waiting room. Lamonda, you want to introduce yourself while I...
Absolutely. Yes, I am Lamonda Dye, owner and CEO of LCD Agency Services. And I am happy to be here co hosting this webinar with Dr. K.
And what Lamonda did not mention is that she is the chair of our Women of Color Committee.
Yep, left that off there. Chair of the Women of Color Committee here. Good
All
morning.
right, let's rock and roll. We've got some more people coming, so I'm excited about that. If you live with multiple screens like I do, then you understand what I'm going through right now. I got to
Yes.
put this part over here, put this part over here, and then make sure I can see all of you all in the middle. And that is
Yeah.
where I am. So jumping in, I just want to first introduce the team. So for you all who may not be familiar with our team here at WBENC ORV, we are led by our fearless leader, Lenice Smith, who is our president and CEO. Dr. Frederica Singletary is our Chief Operations Officer. And then Jackie Jordan is our fractional CFO. And Courtney Martin is our Senior Director of Marketing and Communications and Business Development. I've already introduced myself. And then for those who are not certified yet, these next two people are going to become your best friends in the world. So our certification department is led by the Director of Certification, Colleen Rudisil, and the certification manager, Robert Moore, but he goes by Robbie. When you start your application process and things like that, those are the folks that you'll be working with. And then Morgan McDonald is our administrative assistant. And so today we are going to be talking about all things how to get certified.
So here is our agenda. We're going to start out with talking more about WBENC and WBENC ORV. What is a WBE? And I know that that is very confusing because there are, state level, city level, and then there is the best, which is WBENC, just saying. And then we're going to cover WBE and WOSAVI, I guess how we're going to say it. Eligibility, and then benefits of your certification. And our guest speakers, of course, Anisha Bailey, Annabelle Himmelgarn.
Demogorgon.
Sorry, got it. And then the process and the cost, tips and next steps, and then, of course, the upcoming events.
All right, so jumping in, what is WBENC and WBENC ORV? So WBENC is actually the largest third-party certifier of businesses in the United States. And so WBENC, which is kind of, if you envision like a parent company, works with 14 regional partner organizations throughout the United States. WBENC ORV is just one of those partner organizations, or we call it an RPO. And so here at WBENC, we certify businesses in Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky. There are over 20,000 certified, they certify over 20,000 WBEs nationally. Within our organization, we certify, I think we've got about over 1,100 thus far. And we also have corporate memberships, corporate partnerships. And we currently have over 550 plus corporate partnerships at the national level. Locally, we're teetering right around 100 corporate partnerships that we have here at WBENC ORV. So our vision at WBENC ORV is to be the premier resource for women-owned business development. Our mission is leading through innovation, collaborative, and engaging groups of corporates, governments, WBEs, and advocates. We provide certification, we provide business training and development, networking, as well as matchmaking. And as I mentioned, we've got over 1,100 WBEs, and we're right like this close to that 100. So super excited about that. This close.
Yeah.
And we also have over 100 certified women of color WBEs. So we're super excited about that. That was some metrics that we met last year. And so we
Mhm.
crossed that over 100 and we're booming. So we're super excited to have all of you here and would love to see you all get certified as well. So talk about a little bit about the certification process and what a WBE is. So Women's Business Enterprise is what we call WBEs or WBEs. You'll hear that interchangeably. And those are the women-owned businesses that are certified by WBENC. So a WBE actually refers to the business, not to the individual, but oftentimes you'll hear us talking about our WBEs or our WBEs, and we'll be talking about the person. But just keep in mind that technically speaking, a WBE is your actual business. So, certification eligibility, for-profit independent business. You must be 51% owned, operated, and managed and controlled by a woman or women, a female owner, and you have to be a United States citizen or legal permanent resident. Um, the female owner or another woman has to hold the highest office within your business. The owner has to display evidence of legal and managerial control. So you've got to be the power that be that makes the decisions. The owner has to display evidence of contribution of capital and expenses or expertise, excuse me. And the business has to demonstrate independence and ability to function on its own. So we do not have any type of criteria in terms of how large or small you have to be, what type of industry you have to be in, or even how long you have to have been in business. So you could have started your business yesterday and decide, you know what, WBENC certification is for me. Sign me up. I meet all this other criteria. I believe we are actually one of the only certifying bodies that we will certify small businesses regardless of how long you've been in business. And so some of the benefits of certification, you have access to supplier diversity and procurement executives. We have a site that we call WBENC Link, which gives you the ability to go on there. And if you're looking for WBEs that are in a certain business industry or something like that, and you're able to connect with them through there. We have both formal and informal opportunities to pursue businesses, access to networking and events, which we'll talk about towards the end of this session. By being a certified WBE, you are eligible for both regional and national awards and recognition. You get to use the woman-owned logo in your marketing materials, as well as if you're a business where you have products, you get to use it on those. And so some of the really great things about that is that oftentimes when people are looking for a new business or looking for a new product, if you just take that package and flip it on the back and they see that it's a woman-owned business, they're more likely to purchase that product than they are if they don't see it. So that's really great and valuable piece to have there as well. And then you also get community support. And that's the thing that I would say is the best thing about what we do here at WBEC ORV is it's literally like a family, right? And so you've got a community support of other female business owners, like-minded individuals that you can network with, you can ask questions to, you can chat with. It really becomes a new family. One of the things that we also currently have is a memorandum of understanding with the state of Ohio. So if you are not already certified with the state of Ohio, we can assist you with that process.
And now for our guest speakers, Anisha Bailey. I am going to reserve speaking too much about Anisha, sorry, I'm going to get that right, so that she is able to share her own story and who she is. And then our next guest speaker is Annabelle Hemmelgarn, and I will do the same for her. I will reserve from speaking any further and allow these ladies to introduce themselves. We will start with Anisha.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being on today. Appreciate you being here. So, and thank you all for WeBank and Dr. K and Lamonda for inviting me here. So, my name is Anisha Bailey. I am the CEO of the Maurice Krishan Group. I've been in business for 17 years now. Last year, we celebrated our Sweet 16. And we specifically specialized for a lot of those years in tax problem resolution for entrepreneurs. And going into this year, we launched a new product where we do dairy-free gelato. It was 15 years after I started my business in the consulting space before I even registered with WeBank. And it took so long because I really didn't understand why I should and things like that. And then sometimes you feel like, hey, I don't want to be kind of put into a box. But I think what I realized over time is that it's not necessarily being put into a box, but it's more so being able to be put into a room with more opportunities and more relationships and things like that. And so I was very excited about joining WeBank. And then last year when they had the get-togethers, because I think that was the first time they had get-togethers since COVID, it was just wonderful. And so
Mhm.
I went to the get together they had. It was all within a week, and it was in Columbus, Dayton,
Yeah.
and Cincinnati. And I
Those
went
are the
to all of
connects.
them. They were. Say it again.
They were called the WBE connects.
So
Mhm.
I went to all of them, and each of them had their own different vibe and feel. And the people who were there, you met different people, of course, in the different locations, and everybody was just very welcoming. And I think a lot of times when you're dealing with women, you kind of feel like, oh, is it going to be catty or is it going to be something? But it wasn't like, you're going to gravitate to personalities that you like and who like you. And even if your businesses don't align, it really doesn't matter. You're just going to be looking for ways, how can I support you? And they're going to be looking for the same thing for you. And if nothing else, hey, I- entrepreneurship is stressful. And
Yeah.
I think we can all agree. And those of us who are parents or caregivers or whatever, that I always say this, entrepreneurship is the second hardest thing that you will volunteer to do, second to parenting. And so you need a tribe of people who understand and stuff. And so I think just my interactions with WeBank so far has allowed me to be able to build those connections. I've done business with other WBEs, specifically Lamonda and WeBank ORV so far. And I just would not have had the opportunity had I not gotten out of my own way of, oh, I don't want to be in this box. But, some boxes you want to be in. I want to be in this particular group, opposed to just out in the world, by myself. So this was real. This has been great. And so when a lot of times people ask me like, should I do it? Should I not? And I'm like, I think it's more of a thing of just network. And one of the things I said before was as far as like your network, when you go into like this organization, we know that the goal is, oh, okay, now I have the opportunity to do business with corporate. But maybe even before when you get in here, maybe you're not necessarily ready to do business with corporate, but you're ready to build these relationships that's going to help you do business with corporate. And so if you can be in these rooms now, even starting off, or even if you've been in business for a while, you know how to do it right or do it better, so that you're not making bad deals, so that you're not even taking on corporate accounts you don't want, because hey, maybe your actual target market is in the group. So like I said, I've been in entrepreneurship for quite some time. And if there's anything I could do to help, I'm happy to help. We started a program recently. It's called the Sensible CEO. Because I've been helping people for so long fix their IRS and state tax problems, we were able to understand why they got into the problem in the first place. And then we also use our new brand with our dairy-free gelato to just boost morale in the workplace. And so there's a lot of things I have going on, but I've been able to see how I can tap into WeBank to be able to leverage it for everyone's success.
Thank you, Anisha. I have a question. How was the certification process for you?
So when I initially got my certification, I thought it was going to be extremely challenging. So I hired someone, even though I know that there's free ways to get it done, but I hired someone. And then because I have all my paperwork and because I know how to do certain and put paperwork together, it wasn't as challenging. So when I renewed, it was easy peasy. So I would say the biggest thing is just taking the time to get your paperwork together and understand what the paperwork is, and don't do it all at the last minute. So let's say have a plan and say, hey, I'm gonna get this done in 30 days or 60 days, and then just take 1 week, I'm gonna do this one piece of paperwork, and next week, and just keep getting it done so you don't have to be overwhelmed. But then If you do your WBENC certification first, and then you want to be state certified, and I don't know if it's the same for the city, but if you want to be state of Ohio certified as well, it's even easier because they have a cross certification. So once you show that you already have WBENC, you just go onto Ohio Business Gateway, make sure that's all set up properly. Now that's its own challenge, but you might need a little bit of help with the state to get that set up. But once you set that up, usually within less than 30 days, and you do that cross certification, they just want to see that you have the WBENC certification and unless you and professional licenses, and that's it, and you're good. You don't have to even give them all that same paperwork.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I just want to speak to the piece when you were talking about community, which I've been in other, groups or rooms, and I have to agree with you that, you know, the sense of community with WeBeck, I've never felt before. Never been in a room with so many women that are, happy for you, want to help you. And it's like you said, as soon as you meet another WBE, it's like, oh, how can I, do business with you? Or I know somebody that, and I had never had that before, so loving WeBeck for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any last remarks? And then we'll open it up for questions, other questions.
Mm-mm.
Or Dr. K, would you like for me to wait till after Annabelle speaks to open up for questions?
Either is fine. I mean, if anybody has any questions specifically for Anisha, they can definitely come off mute. Or if you don't feel comfortable coming off mute, you can throw them in the chat.
Thank you, Anisha.
Thank you.
I don't see anybody coming off mute yet, so I think you can go ahead and move forward.
Okay. Up next, we have Annabelle, who oh, I can't see you on my screen. So, Annabelle, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Anna Belen, and first of all, thank you guys so much, Dr. K and Lamonda, for asking me to be on this. Businesses, ABA Partners Plus, where I'm a co-founder with another woman, April Wood, where we are an energy consulting company and broker, as well as helping businesses just save money. And it's also evolved to like material supply. And then I also am now a founder and owner of Ignite Design Online. It's a digital marketing agency where we help businesses grow. So I either save money or I help businesses grow using AI automation to help their marketing efforts efficiently. So when I decided to get into WeBank back in 2016, I can't even believe it's been so long. Honestly, my goal was to find an edge that made me competitive in the highly competitive energy sector. And that certification proved to be a game changer, opening up doors for that business. And it soared to significantly, to over 7 figures. So that's great. But now I'm focusing on building my digital marketing agency, and I'm committed to using every resource WeBank provides. So I also recently joined the Women of Color Committee, and I'm eager to get more involved and help other businesses thrive. But reflecting on my journey, I realized that I actually didn't use WeBank's full range of opportunities when I did my first business. And I know that really slowed down the progress. So again, I'm taking advantage of all the opportunities now, trying to fit it in my busy schedule, but I really think it's important to make sure we find time to do that. So I just wanted to thank you guys all for this opportunity to share my story. I really hope it resonates with any of you that are considering to get certified, getting certified, because I don't want you to think that it's just another certification, because there's really so much opportunity with WeBank that it gives you a real chance for personal and professional growth. This journey isn't about being an entrepreneur in general. Like Anisha, I've been an entrepreneur for ages. The journey isn't about just being in the business and trying to succeed just business. You really have to develop yourself alongside your enterprise, because it's really crucial in taking that business to the next level to build both your personal and professional career. So I just want to push all of you to leverage all that WBENC has to offer and to support each other in this incredible journey. We're filled with a lot of like-minded people. And I don't know about you, but my surrounding sometimes does not think the way I think. And it's very important to surround yourself with the people that are like-minded and wanting to pursue and grow businesses, grow themselves personally. And so I just think it's a great thing to be involved with groups like this that have the resources and expertise all around. So not just at the top, but all around. When you have the connects and such, you guys really can leverage and grow. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Annabelle. And so, I have the question for you. So heard you say earlier that you originally got your WBE to have an edge in your competitive market. Did you gain that edge with the WBE? Did it kind of?
It gained my edge with that, as well as I have the other certifications, and I think all of them in general, I think they're twofold. Not only does it open doors, but it also gives you that credibility that you can get things done. I mean, it takes a little bit of effort to get those certifications, actually quite a bit. So I think that actually helped. It's just like a credibility underlying when you say, oh yes, I'm WBENC, I'm MBE, Edge certified, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's definitely a plus. And yes, it did. I wouldn't have gotten in some of the manufacturing realms if it hadn't been for all my certifications. But like I said, I don't think it's just certifications. There's so much more to this that people just don't realize. So I just want to make sure I push that in there, because
Yes.
there's so much more. So much more.
Yes. And speaking to the more, I believe, and you, and also you, Anisha, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were certified. I think at the time, Anisha may have been newly certified, but I reached out to you guys via email, inviting you to one of the connects. And I remember both of you guys saying, you go like, oh my God, this is wonderful. I didn't even know this existed. And I said, well, it's because it's the first time that we're kind of doing it. So that, so you didn't really miss anything. But having said that, since that time, because it's been almost a year, what do you wish that you had leveraged or participated in, prior to you learning? Because again, you guys were certified, but had not been utilizing, some of the benefits. Give me one or two, areas that you wish that you had taken advantage of the benefit or been a part of that you had not before? As far as
I can start first. Yeah, I can start first. I definitely think just getting around again, like I said, the like-minded people. I really think even now more than ever, I'm really thinking I need to build my network and leverage more people around me, their knowledge, their network, their support, their rah, right? To just help you out. Because it is, like Anisha said, entrepreneurship can be lonely. And especially if you're not around the people that feel the same way, you can really kind of get down if you're not getting the stuff that you want to do. And it kind of also gives you inspiration when you hear the stories of people that are doing something else. Instead of being jealous, it's almost like, man, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? So you kind of have that pushing you and elevating you. And I feel like that's one of the things I have to get better at, honestly. So it's not even just in the past. I mean, like right now, I need to get more involved, because that's what I need. I think I just need that lift up, and that's what you get when you're with this group of people, these women.
And I mean, and that's a great point. And I would add to that, as far as just even going into, because like when you were going through, Dr. K, earlier, the slides about there being 1,100 WBEs in the region and 80 corporates and things like that, and just I think sometimes we try to get like all hundred thousands of people. And it's like, we don't even need that, and just to really kind of be okay with like focusing in on, let's say that 1100, because that's too many, right? So to be able to say, okay, you know what, let me connect with 10 people in this organization, and we can be very intentional. And that's what I need to do a better job of. And I think it, I'm really like seeing like, hey, this is great. But I've been a part of other organizations that make you not know how to tap into this way, because it's kind of like it's going to be more of the same. But then when you see this organization doing things different, it's like, oh, well, let me go ahead and tap into reaching out to people through the website, through the directory and all that kind of stuff. And I don't have to feel as, like they're not going to respond, or that they're not going to care like I would maybe in other organizations that you've probably been a part of. This is just different. I mean, the energy, the vibe, everything is different. Like I said, everyone wants you to succeed. So I just want to make sure that when you do get in here, like I'm working on too, because I just renewed. So this will be my second year. So is working on, let's make sure we deepen our relationships within this.
Yep.
Thank you for that, Anisha.
Lamanda, there's a question in the chat from Angela, and I'm
Yeah.
working on pulling up a date for something so I can respond to this as well. But I'll let the three of you actually, as WBEs, answer. So Angela says, how can she best use her certification? She was certified in October of 2024, but she's not knowledgeable about where she should market her company commercially to broaden her scope of work and connections.
The first thing that comes off the top of my head, which we all three just, kind of spoke about, and I know it sounds really simplistic, but get more involved.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, well, with you being certified, I should have your email. I try to weekly send out an email to all women of color to letting you know what's going on, or if there isn't anything, going on. But get more involved. And this is a great segue for me to go into this. I don't even know what to call it. I'm going to say a wise woman who is also a WBE, Tina Micken, want to say that, said, don't always look for a return on investment, look for a return in involvement. And I think that is the most simplest way, to say it. Get more involved, because when we know what it is that, what you do, we'll start connecting, like our minds, this group is like that, we're like, oh, how can I help, or who can I, connect you with? And I think from there, you'll be able to, it will help you figure out where to market your business, or what, areas you should be in, or get some guidance in that way with some other ladies that may be their area of expertise.
I think that's really good. I'm also dropping into the chat. We do a webinar on a quarterly basis called How to Maximize Your Certification. And so I'm dropping that along with, I just thought about that. Hold on. I just got to look and see, is that registration form open yet? As I dropped it in the chat. But if it's not open yet, go ahead and put that date on your calendar. And within the next couple of weeks, that registration will be open if it's not yet. But that is a webinar that we do on a quarterly basis for our existing WBEs, where our certification team will really go through how can you best maximize your certification. It is live, so you can go ahead and register for that one. Anisha or Annabelle, do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share?
I think I saw another question.
Yeah, I was reading the second question because I thought Lamanda answered that first question.
That's fine, sure.
Yeah.
So the second question, my business partner and I started an executive operations company, officially registered and everything last year. Is it worthwhile for a new business like ours to get certified right away, or should we wait? If we should wait, how long should we wait?
And can I answer that?
Yes, you can.
Look, no, don't wait. Don't wait. Go ahead. I think it's a matter of even if sometimes you don't know what you're doing, because it's kind of like you don't wait till you're ready, you just get in there, and then you can get ready. You can learn what you need to learn. But if you're ready to get started and you want to build the relationships and all these kind of things, it's like, go ahead and get started. You don't have to work with a corporate just because you're in here right away. That's not, you don't have to do that.
Right.
It's not a requirement of being a part of it, but you just want to build the relationships that are going to eventually help you if you decide to work with corporate, or if you decide to work inside this network. The sooner you get involved, the sooner it'll pan out for you. And like Lamonda said, you look for a return on your involvement. And so if you're not involved, you won't have a return to look for.
Yeah. And I just want to add to I'm one of the people I have a coach with, and she always says, your future, your future is actually created with your decisions you make today. So there's no reason to wait, because you don't know what the decisions that you make today will dictate that's going to happen. So the longer you prolong it, the longer you're prolonging that future to come to the present. If Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's really good. Any other questions right now? And if not, we'll jump back in. We've got a few more slides to get through, and of course, we'll definitely open it up for questions in the end. All right, let me go back to sharing my screen. Thank you so much, ladies. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the application process. That was actually a really great segue. So the entire process is going to take 3 to 4 months. Obviously, the sooner you get things in, the more responsive that you are when Robbie or Colleen or anyone from our certification committee asks for information. The sooner you get those responses in, obviously, the sooner they can complete everything. So, they'll determine if you're eligible. Remember, we talked about that 51% ownership and all of those pieces. You'll compile all of your required documentation. As Anisha mentioned, she hired somebody that helped her through that initial process. We've got several WBEs who go through that process themselves. So don't feel like you have to hire somebody in order to be able to complete that process. It's an option, but you don't have to do it. You'll complete your application online. I talked a little bit about WBENC Link as one of the tools that you can use once you're certified. That's actually where your application is going to start as well. The certification committee will review the information, and they'll schedule you for a site visit. Those site visits are either done face-to-face or done virtually, just depending on where you are, what type of business you have, and that sort of thing. Um, then once the site visit is completed, then they'll complete the review and they'll make a determination. Once your site visit is complete, you should receive that determination within like 30 days, right? So if for some reason you do get a denial, our certification team is very specific in the documentation that they provide when there is a denial. That denial is not the end all be all. Oftentimes that paperwork will say why. Now, it may not say you need to go back to this document and you need to put XYZ instead of putting ABC. It's not going to be that specific, but it may say, you were denied because of blah, 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 blah. Go back and reference whatever that thing is, because you can fix that and go back through that certification process. Any questions about that? Okay. So next big thing people usually ask about is what the cost is. So your cost is going to be based upon your revenue. So the application processing fee is non-refundable, and it's you'll pay for new applicants as well as when you do your recertification, as Anisha talked about. It's going to be based on your annual gross revenue as reported on your federal taxes, and we have 5 different tiers. So if your company is under 1 million, it's $350. And I'm not going to read the screen to you because I know you all can read. And if you're at 50 million plus, then your application fee, excuse me, is $1,250. So there is, a little bit of skin in the game in that. However, I will also admit, or I will also share that we do offer some scholarships for women of color who are in need. So if you have a desire to be certified, but for whatever financial situation something is going on, and you want to apply for that scholarship, let us know and we can get you that scholarship application. The scholarship does not cover the full cost. I believe it might be up to 50%. Don't quote me on that. But it can, we do have opportunities to be able to help our especially our women of color WBEs with getting certified. So don't let the cost keep you from applying.
Hello.
Certification tips and next steps. So this actually needs to be updated, but I will drop it into the chat. So we also have a Becoming a Certified WBE webinar. Some of the information that we talked about today is covered there. That webinar is actually led by our certification team. So they go like super, 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 super deep on the whole certification process. So we're like here, and then they're going to bring you here, right? So if you think like, hey, I've got enough information and I want to go ahead and start the certification process and I'm ready to roll, wonderful. If you're like, hey, I've got a whole bunch of extra questions specifically about certification and I'm not quite sure about this, that, and the other, that's going to be the webinar that you're going to go to. I'll drop it in the chat so that way you have the next one, since this one was just last week.
Dr. K, I also like to add that webinar is also good. They, like you said, it's a deeper dive, but it goes over the paperwork that you need, the forms you need, and things like that. Because sometimes I get that question too, like, what do I need? Well, they're going to tell you in that webinar.
Yes. And they're going to be very thorough. Their certification folks are going to be very thorough. You can also visit the WBENC website, and you can begin to look at, become familiar with our organization, with the WBENC National Organization, and they also will have information there about the certification process and what type of documents you need and that kind of thing. Double check and make sure that your bylaws and agreements support female control of the organization. So you'll get a copy of the slide deck, but there was a couple slides ago where I talked about these are all the things that you need to make sure that you have in place. Make sure you've got those things in place before you apply, because remember, it is a non-refundable application fee. And if you need to wait, right, because you need to get those pieces in order, go ahead and get your house in order. So that way, when you apply, you're putting your best foot forward. And then just be flexible, when it comes to scheduling your site visits. We have a certification team, a committee who does those site visits. And so some of them are business owners, some of them are corporate, some of our corporate members. So it's mixed up between those volunteers as well as our certification manager and certification director. So just try to be as flexible as possible when they're reaching out to be able to schedule those meetings with you, so that way you can get your site visit scheduled. And then, like we said, apply, right? Like I always say that if you don't apply, if you don't put yourself out there, the answer is always going to be no, because they don't have your application. But if you put your application in, you go ahead and take that step of faith, you have the opportunity for that answer to be yes. So it's a dynamic organization. I don't say that just because I work here, but it is a dynamic organization with an amazing group of ladies. And men, because we do have allies as well, not that are certified, but who their focus is literally working with women business owners. They want to see you all succeed. We want to see you all succeed, and it's really about doing it together. That is all we have. Before we move to upcoming events, are there any additional questions?
I saw one in the chat.
Change my screen view. Hold on, let me stop sharing and then I'll be able to see. No, you do not have to take the webinar in order to start the process. That is optional. And let me also get that next seminar here for you. March. So the date is March 6th for the next Becoming a Certified WBE. If you are interested in attending that, that I've just dropped that into the chat for you. All right, let me share my screen again. And Lamonda, you can talk about our upcoming events.
Let's do it. got some exciting stuff coming up, you guys. On the 18th, developing an effective capability statement. I have to say, I took advantage of this, and I'll be in business 15 years next year, and had never saw the need for a capability statement until last year. And I think I reached out to Dr. K and I said, oh, I need help. And she said, oh, we have this. So, and if you don't even know what a capability statement is, I would advise, doing this listening or being in this webinar to even figure that part out. Because like I said, I didn't even realize I needed one until last year. On this March 6th, becoming a certified WBE, which I think is already in the chat. March 12th, doing business with Ohio Health. March 19th, speak like a leader. That should be interesting. I think I'm going to take advantage of that webinar. March 20th, newly certified WBE onboarding session. So I highly recommend this webinar as well. March 26th, doing business with Duke Energy. That should be exciting. April 17th through the 18th, Bold and Brilliant, which is a Women of Color event that the Women of Color Committee has the pleasure and the I don't even know what other words to use, being a part of it, and that will be in Columbus, so there'll be more information about that coming out. And then August 25th through the 27th is the Catch the Wave conference. This is where I became captivated and decided to become certified by attending the Catch the Wave conference. So if you're sitting on the fence about becoming certified, and if you're sitting here thinking like, they're probably saying this stuff because they're already certified, I invite you to come to the Catch the Wave conference, even if it's just for one day. And I'm sure you're going to catch the fever, and then you're going to be certified next. So that's all we have for upcoming events.
And before I go to the next slide, I want to call out, so by being a certified WBE, there are some things that you are invited to that our non-certified WBEs are not invited to. So, doing business with Ohio Health, doing business with Duke Energy, those are only offered to our certified WBEs. So in this example, Ohio Health and Duke Energy are both two of our corporate members. And one of the things our corporate members do is they have the opportunity to present a webinar to our certified WBEs to talk about what they do, why they do it, why they're committed to working with WBEs, how to navigate their process. You get the inside tracks sometimes about, procurement bids they may and opportunities they may have coming up. So if you are not certified, that is something that you would not be able to attend. Speak Like a Leader is actually going to be both either in person or hybrid. We have two different options. That's going to be in Columbus as well. That is open to non-certified WBEs, so don't feel like you have to be certified for that. The Developing an Effective Capability Statement is open to both non-certified and certified WBEs, as well as Bold and Brilliant and Catch the Wave. So just wanted to kind of reiterate, the doing business sessions are for our certified WBEs only. But once you get certified, you can definitely get in there. And you can scan this QR code. That QR code should take you to our event page on our website, where you can always find out all the information about all of the events that we have going on. So the last thing we want you to do, if you are not on your phone, we would love for you to take out your phone and scan this QR code and fill out this brief survey just to give us some feedback about the session today. If you happen to be joining from your phone, don't worry, because you'll receive an email within the next couple of days, which will have a link to this recording, a link to the PowerPoint, as well as a link to the survey. So you can always fill it out there. But we cannot get better without your feedback. We strive really hard to make tweaks and changes to everything that we do to ensure that we're providing our certified and non-certified WBs with everything that they need. And there are a couple of questions in the chat. So, Renee, you asked about the scholarship. So I'm going to drop into the chat my email address. If you are in need and want to be considered for the scholarship, please send me an email and I will send you the link to the application. As well as if you hang up from this call and you've got additional questions or whatever the case may be, you've got my contact information there. Lamonda, if you can also drop your email address into the chat as well.
Yep.
As I mentioned, Lamonda is the chair of our Women of Color Committee. Our Women of Color Committee strives to ensure that we as women of color have a voice within the organization. And so we work really hard to make sure that that happens, as well as to work on events like the Women of Color, the Bold and Brilliant Conference that we have, which is an event for women of color and allies, both men and women. And so we work really, really hard with that. The other question, are there virtual events for non-certified? I think I answered that as well. So there are some things that we do offer the opportunity for our non-certified WBs to attend. Typically, when you click on the registration, if you see those options and you see non-certified listed there, you are more than welcome to go ahead and attend. If you happen to register as a certified WBE, we do double check that. So we do try to keep that as something that is near and dear and provide certain opportunities for our certified WBEs. And I see Anna Boleen has also put her email address in the chat if anybody wants to connect with her. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, thank you.
Are there any additional questions at all? Anything at all? You know, Lamonda, what I would like to do really quickly, since we still have a few more minutes left in our time, and something that maybe in hindsight we probably could have done in the beginning. I would love for the ladies who are on the call to maybe come off mute and kind of just introduce themselves, just real quick, just so we know who all's here.
That would be great. Yeah, we should do that.
I'm going to just go around and pick folks based off of how you are on my screen. So, the first person I see is it Talicia McNeely?
Talisha.
Talisha.
Mhm. So, good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Talisha McNeely. I'm the co-founder of Victory Medical Alliance. We are based in the Dayton, Ohio area, and we offer medical billing, dental billing, and practice management solutions. So our focus is independent providers. We basically help healthcare providers with the administrative piece of handling their billing. So getting reimbursed from insurance companies, which is a very important piece for those practices that want to take that out of their practice so they can focus on patient care. We are that third party organization that can do that for them. So it's a fun venture. And it'll be 2 years this month that we've been in business, and we're up to 9 providers. We service providers nationwide. So if you know of providers that are looking for a billing service with great quality service that is personalized, definitely let me know. I'm glad to be here.
Wonderful.
Talisha, I hope how do you say it? I'm
Talisha.
sorry. Talisha.
Talisha.
There we go. Reach out to me. I have like 3 people popping in my head right now that I could connect you with.
Okay, I definitely will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the next person who has their camera on, so I'm going to pick her next, is Jennifer. Is it Cubas?
Yes, Jennifer Cubas. Good morning, everyone, or almost afternoon. So I'm actually with Elevar Consulting. We are also it's a little combination of digital marketing as well as business consulting. Started this business back in pre-COVID, just to help with smaller businesses that, as we all know, when you start a business, you wear multiple hats, but then you start delegating some tasks, especially for marketing in that sense. So started doing that with a lot of my friends, and then kind of grew into an agency about 4 years ago. We work with different clients on different areas. We have some clients in New York, as well as Florida, Virginia, Atlanta, and then we just got into a new client in London. So I'm excited to be a part of this group and looking forward to getting certified.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
And someone else just came on screen, has the same name as you, so I'm assuming that's definitely not you twice. But then she just turned her camera off, so I still want her to introduce herself since she's here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
Hi all, my name is Valerie Mota. Actually, I work with Jennifer Cubas. She's my business partner. I'm so happy about that. So proud about that. But yeah, you
Awesome.
already guys know all about Elevar, so nice to meet you all.
Awesome. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. Where are you guys based out of?
So where it's interesting, so Valerie is actually based in Florida. I actually just relocated to the Northern Virginia area in December.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome.
Is your company based in Ohio, Kentucky, or West Virginia?
Not at the moment. We're kind of working on a few things,
Gotcha.
but as of
Okay.
right now, it's just registered in Florida.
Okay.
I just moved in Northern Virginia in December, so we're kind of working on a few of our business licenses.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So, you'll definitely want to work with Robbie and Colleen to figure out exactly what you need to do with you having the different locations and where your certification kind of is domiciled. So they
Yeah,
can definitely help you navigate that process.
awesome. That's perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Next I have is it Lucia Herrera?
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry I can't have my camera on. I
That's
had
okay.
minor surgery yesterday. I'm taking the webinar from my bed. Um, I'm originally from Mexico, and during COVID, getting a little bit bored, my son and I decided to start a family business. We're both IT, and but we truly love to cook, so we started a business of making gourmet Mexican American gourmet salsas.
Ooh,
We
Okay.
we started this so it's going to be almost 2 years and 8 months. Slowly but surely, the very beginning, we became part of ECDI and starting cooking our salsas there at Food Fort in mid 2022, and started to go into events, markets, etc., etc. The ECDI director at the time loved our product and was very interested into pushing us to in Kroger. So now we are, as of today, in how many? 66 Krogers, I think.
Oh,
wonderful.
awesome.
All the Giant Eagles here in Columbus, a couple of ones out of state. We are at the two jungle gyms, and we just recently, February the 1st, started to sell our sauces as well at Myers. They look for us, and we are in the local programs in all those stores. And yeah, we're looking to grow it a little bit more and see more opportunities in our business.
Now all
Wonderful.
you need is that WBE
Congratulations.
on the back of your
Exactly.
sauces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my husband and I, we love a good salsa. So
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to, if you sell online as
Oh
well,
yeah, we do.
send me an email, please, with the
Yes.
link
I'm
because we
gonna
love a
put
good
it here on
salsa.
the chat.
Oh, please, yes, because I'm a
Perfect.
salsa person
Perfect.
too.
And we are running tight on time. Goodness
Oh,
gracious.
okay.
Okay. Angelica Hardy.
Hi, sorry. Hi, my name is I'm Dr. Angelica Hardy. I have a for public health, so I do a lot of public health consulting and strategic planning, and I do that professionally. But pre-COVID, I actually started basically working for those who I used to work for, and they would come back and say, "Can you help us?" So I was like, I guess I need to start a business. So I have been doing a very small scale for the last 5, 6 years and really have been urged to continue and kind of build my business more. So was referred to this webinar by Courtney Martin on the team. I used to work with her at the American Heart Association. So I'm really excited to get started and continue learning more. Thank you for
Awesome.
today. This is
Yes,
really
thank you so
helpful.
much for joining.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Thank you.
Courtney's amazing.
Yeah, no problem.
Renee Bolton.
Hello, my name is Renee Bolton. There are two of us on the screen here. My business partner, Rachel, is the other Renee Bolton. We started a executive operations coordination business. We started last year. We had this great idea 2 years ago, and we kind of threw it around for a little while. kind of playing at starting a business, but not really moving forward with it until last year when we said, okay, we're either doing this or we're not. And so here we are with, everything
Awesome.
registered
Good for
and
you.
moving in the right direction. We our target audience is small business owners that are ready to scale with an emphasis on social media, administrative support, bookkeeping, and graphic design. So that's where we're at. There's Rachel. I don't know. What else do I need to say? Is that
Nope,
it?
that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
I,
Rachel, did you want to say
like
something?
Jennifer and her partner, I'm just, proud that Renee is my partner and we get to go through this very interesting journey together.
I love
That is
it. I love it.
awesome.
You got your journey buddy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
It's like the battle buddy, right? It makes
That's
it
right.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, welcome, ladies. What about Angela Timpson?
I'm driving, but I can introduce myself.
Sure.
So, yes, I've known about your organization for a while now, and I posted a last question. I wanted to, although I'm certified, I have a commercial cleaning business actually, company, and that's how I'm marketing it. But I wanted to find out mainly, since I'm already certified, how do I become a member with your organization?
Yes, yeah. So definitely, I would say you're going to want to get connected with Colleen and Robbie, because they will be able to walk you through that process. So if you send me an email, then I will connect you with Robbie, and so that way he can answer those questions and help you navigate that process.
Okay, but yeah, I've been in business almost 2 years, come July, and so been getting out there. It's been kind of slow, but I'm in the Dayton, Ohio area, and it's very, very slow here. But I'm finding that south of Dayton or east of Dayton, like Columbus, either Cincinnati or Columbus, is where it's more lucrative for the type of work that I do. But I'm very much interested. Like you said, I'm truly thankful for the feedback. I am looking for getting more involved, and I am. But it's like I said, it's either getting out of the Dayton area in order for me to do that. It's going to be more marketable. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Next, Enike Adeniran. I apologize because I'm sure I've totally butchered that. Are you with us? If not, they'll never know till they get the recording and hear me butcher their name.
Well, at least you apologized on the
I did apologize,
Well.
yes. The last one I see is Michelle Michael King.
And you did not butcher my name, so.
I did not. I saved
Thank
the easy one.
I'm sorry I can't switch on my video, but I'm in between things with house stuff. But well, I'm Michelle Michael King. I own MMK Digital Solutions, which it's digital marketing and research. Those are the two things we offer. I'm a baby business, honestly, because I pivoted from academia last August. I was a professor based in Connecticut, and then I relocated to Columbus, Ohio. So I'm based in Columbus, Ohio now, and then moved out of academia and started this. So I was referred to this program by Babia Polk, and
yeah.
she definitely highly recommended this, and I was like, okay, I need to check it out. So yes, I'm glad to learn of certification, but again, because I'm a baby business, just figuring out the structure and figuring out my just the foundation of everything. So yes, this was very informational, so thank you.
Awesome. Well,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much. Yeah, thank you all for joining, and just and for your time. And I would say that even if you feel that now is not the best time yet for certification, like I said, we have opportunities and events that are open to non-certified WBs as well. So we would love to see you at some of our upcoming events. Lamanda, before I pass it back to you, and I know we're at the top of time, I see Enike has their hand up, so you can go ahead and come off mute. Gonna make me say your name twice.
Right.
Hi, good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. My name
Good
is
morning.
Adenike, and I'm here this morning I'm excited to be here this morning to learn, and also um, I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in Cincinnati, Ohio, University of Cincinnati Information System. Um, I'm not a business owner yet, but I'm looking forward to have one in the nearest future. I'm just here because so I have a friend here, Anisha. So I saw the broadcast through our LinkedIn page, and I thought it would be more educative for me to join. And I've
Wasn't-
learned a lot this morning.
wasn't-
Thank you.
I wasn't sure if that was
Yes.
you, so I was just waiting.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, this is your friend and you let me butcher her name? Didn't help
I
me
was
out?
waiting. I was up because I'm like, I'm not. But we met last October at a Diwali event
Okay.
with the Indian Chamber. And
Awesome.
she even she's not a WBE, but she came here, we met and we connected on LinkedIn, and she helped me with one of my events.
I love it. I love
Awesome.
it. And as I mentioned, there's so many opportunities, so many sessions that we offer for both certified and non-certified WBEs, and not even, people that, whether you have a baby business or whether you've got a business idea, we do have opportunities, right? And we are working on creating some additional programs for those who are just starting off to be able to help you through that process as well. So definitely keep an eye out on our social media, mostly our LinkedIn, on our website. And if you see an event that's out there and it's got those options for a non-certified WBE to attend or for a non-certified person to attend, come up and show up, because you'll begin to make you'll begin to meet faces, you'll begin to make connections, and you never know who may be in the room that may be able to help propel you in starting your business or figuring out what those next steps need to be. It's not just about being somebody who, like, oh, I've already done this and look at me, I'm so wonderful. It's really
Mhm.
about helping everybody build and connecting. So
Sisterhood.
yes, it is. It is. Lamonda, I'm going to turn it back to you to wrap
Thank
up
you.
for us.
Hey, one thing
Yeah.
real
Oh,
quick.
yeah, go ahead, Anisha.
Yeah, go ahead.
So going back to what Lamonda said earlier about return on involvement. So even if you're not a WBE, I'm sure there are opportunities to work, whether you work with WeBank or us individuals, and just say, hey, I want to volunteer to support an event, or be a door greeter or something, just to kind of get started before you even register. So
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that
And
is
anytime
awesome.
you think if you want to know if there's an opportunity, send me an email and let me know. Catch the Wave is definitely one where we have plenty of volunteer opportunities. So
Yeah.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Lamonda.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So don't have much to say. I thank you guys for all the questions. And as chair of the Women of Color Committee, I hope that this webinar was well worth your time. Again, if you guys have questions or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to any of us. And like Dr. K said, please pay attention to the social media. That's where a lot of times I will drop gems that have been passed on to me by Dr. K and the ORV team. I do not work for ORV, just because some people think that I do. No, just the chair of this committee here. But sometimes things are passed along to me that I share with you guys. So, for example, those connects, again, and Catch the Wave. Those are two incredible things, and Bold and Brilliant, that you can attend, before you get certified, just to get your feet wet a little bit. So I thank you guys for being here, and have a great rest of your day.
thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.